Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you were to ask me which were the indicators of a pen that I liked, or rather even if you liked, it's always these 3 points that you're looking at on the paper. First of all, that the pen is always in rotation. That's fountain pen speak for always using. I mean, if something that you buy is always being used, that's always a good sign that the pen is something that you like. Would recommend others. I think those of you who are familiar with the term NPS, Net Promoter Score, if you had a product that you would recommend to other people, that's always a good sign. And the last point, which is the one I think is most relevant for me in terms of kind of closing out my pen quick looks and reviews, is actually whether or not I would buy another of the pen. To me, that's kind of the clearest sign that I like it, that I want to explore further on that line of pen. And today, as you probably know from the title of the video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of not this pen, but a pen called the Fermo from Pilot. So this is the box. I've not opened it yet, so I thought that it would be nice to kind of unbox it together on air, so to say. So while I'm unboxing, just give you a little bit of background on this pen. So obviously there aren't that many capless or pens that don't have a cap out in the market. As far as I know, Pilot has been in the capless game for quite a while. I think I'm going to they obviously have the capless or the vanishing point in that's been used in the States. I mean, that name I think is primarily used in the States. They have had several iterations of the vanishing point, and it's been a fairly successful line, I think, for them, and therefore they have actually come up with the vanishing point LS. And other manufacturers have also kind of taken notice of the handiness of having a pen that can deploy using like a button mechanism like this. So I think, if I'm not wrong, Platinum has the Curidas, Lamy has the various models. I only know the Dialog series is one of those models. So Pilot had, in conjunction with the traditional button mechanism deployment pen, they have always had kind of another pen along the lines or in a similar, in this kind of parallel to the lineup, called the Fermo. So I finally got the box open. So it comes with an outer sleeve, which those of you who have seen Pilot unboxings will be very familiar. You get this plastic clamshell case, and inside you get capless manual, you get the warranty card, you get ink cartridge, you get the pen, which is a good sign that it's heat sealed in, and that is it, right? So fairly simple contents in the box. Going to use the knife again to open this. So as you note, I got the medium, and in terms of designation of this pen, it's FCF 2MR DLM. So M signifies medium. So I'm going to take off that little tag, and this is the pen. And first impressions, it's a nice feeling pen in the hand, right? I probably will do a follow-up on this pen in a subsequent video, but it's not as tapered as the vanishing point. The vanishing point kind of gets kind of bulbous here in the middle, and then it tapers down. This pen is more or less even. There is a little bit of tapering, but not very much. So kind of diving in, you get the familiar hole at the end where the mechanism, I suppose if you twist this part, the nib should deploy. And it's a very smooth mechanism. I guess the reason why Pilot came up with this type of deployment mechanism is because some people actually made a comment that I'm not sure whether this will be picked up. I'm going to put it closer to the mic. You can hear the way that this kind of push button mechanism deploys. There's a little bit of sound to it. If I put this Fermo up to my mic, and if I deploy it, probably didn't really hear very much. So it's a silent deployment, pretty much similar to the Capless LS, which Pilot released subsequent to all of these models that you're looking at right now. That's a really higher end class of pen, right? But I really like the way that it deploys. The only downside to the way that it deploys is that you can deploy the vanishing point with one hand. This one, you probably could deploy it with one hand, but it requires a bit of dexterity is my first thought. So looking at the end of the pen where the nib comes out, there's that little hole, and then you have chrome cover in a way. You get the clip, which is interesting clip because unlike the vanishing point where it's straight down, there's a little raised part down here, which I would assume would aid in you being able to kind of insert the pen into like a book, a page of the book, or even your shirt pocket, and I like that. And just looking at the rest of the body, there isn't much down here. Obviously, near the cap band, it tells you the model of the pen, so it's a Pilot Fermo, and it says Japan. This little sticker signifies it's a medium, obviously. And then looking further down, you get an extra ring down here, and you actually get these little striations, whereby it's the mechanism that you use to open up the pen. And then right at the end, you get something that looks like a button, but it isn't. It's just like an end cap. So opening up the pen, as expected, there isn't very much down here in terms of deploying. You get this unit down here. Similar to the vanishing point, the main gripping unit actually has a slot down here, and it's all metal threads. And then you get the nib unit, which Pilot by default will give you this little protective sleeve. And surprisingly, they have not given a converter, right? So there's no converter at all. It just comes with this little cartridge, which is slightly disappointing, right? I was expecting a converter like a Con 40 or something like that. So looking at the nib, you can make out that it says Pilot 18 karat 750, and it says medium. And then down there, you can actually kind of make out 1120, which means that it probably means that this nib unit was produced in 2020. And right at the bottom, you get very, very hard to make out, but you get probably a logo, probably a Namiki logo of some kind. This is what the feed mechanism looks like from the back. So I'm going to, since I do not plan to use the cartridge, I'm going to just ink up this pen directly, and I'm going to be using this ink which kind of I maligned a little bit in my ink video. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to insert the nib into the into this inkwell and just do a dip test of this pen. And I just realized I do not have any tissue near me, so it's going to be a balancing act somehow. So I hope that was enough in terms of, and I guess I have to put all this back in order for the mechanism to work. I hope that's enough in order for the pen to write. And I'm going to deploy the pen. Okay, you won't. I think you need that plastic cap to kind of make it go deep enough. Okay, so let's do a little bit of writing, and since it's handy, I'm just going to use the same pad which I had available just now. I'm going to raise the table to kind of get you a better view of the writing. So this is and gripping the pen wise, I find it a little bit weird feeling in the hand compared to the vanishing point. There is quite a lot of weight on the back. I think a little bit more weight in the back compared to the vanishing point. It could be because the overall pen is, I'm just checking the balance. It's a little bit lighter somehow in front, and therefore the back feels kind of heavy. Okay, so this is the Pilot. Can't spell. I think it's Capless Fermo, I'm not too sure. And it's in medium. And it's a very smooth nib. No feedback, or very little feedback actually, which is out of the box, it feels ready to go. And a little bit of writing. Okay, so pretty easy. So it's a very smooth writer. I'm not too sure whether or not the total lack of feedback is something I like. Again, I'm not a biggest fan of smoky gray, but the reason why I chose this today is because I thought that this particular pen in medium would lay down a lot of ink. It probably doesn't, or maybe it's not indicative because I didn't use the full converter. I just did a dip test. But generally, the nib performs very well. It's very smooth. And, I guess it's a matter of me kind of getting used to the pen before I can give you more impressions, about what I think about it. But initially, I think the first thing is that it's a very well-made pen. It's a very beautiful pen. This mechanism here is very satisfying to use. Slightly disappointed because it didn't come with a converter, and I hope that probably came through during when I first unboxed it. Literally, this is the first time I'm seeing this pen together with you guys. In terms of the actual writing, I think it's probably a true medium, right? So this pen, this black pen, actually is equipped with the extra fine, and that's what the Pilot extra fine will look like. This is, I think it's a true medium with, right, that you're getting out of this pen. So, been going on for a while, coming to 16 minutes for this video. I hope you liked the unboxing. I will definitely do a comparison of these two pens, the Fermo versus the Vanishing Point, once I get this particular pen inked up and get some use through it. I'll do a comparison and my thoughts between these two, the kind of capless pens from Pilot. So I hope you liked the video today, and I hope you learned something. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.